first period, had 13 saves, and he has that kind of goaltending. It gives them a chance to come up and win a game and think a little bit about sections.
When that Bears first line was on the ice, it looked a lot like a power play like it has over the recent weeks, but they weren't able to put the puck away. They didn't score in the first period.
Well, and they shouldn't feel bad about being burned a little bit by that first line. That's been the case for them all season. They couldn't have the kind of numbers they did unless they had that kind of domination with a lot of teams. But the important thing is to try and keep them off the board, try to keep the rebounds. At least the Ponies were able to clear some of those rebounds away, steer away some of those wraparound attempts, and keep some of the congestion out from the front of the net.
At the end of one, it's the Bears 1 and the Ponies 1. Stay with us. More on our first intermission. When we return, this is Prep Hockey 95 on KABL. In the first period tonight, Randy Gallatin gets things started. He beats Mike Long with a shot from the circle. 8 minutes in, it's 1-0 White Bear. The Ponies were dominated most of the way, but late in the period on the power play, Gunderson taps it underneath the fallen Tim Simpkins, and we are even at 1 after 1. Welcome back to Aldrich Arena as KABL Sports coverage of Twin Cities Suburban Conference hockey continues. And Tarmo, we talked about it throughout the first period. We talk about it again right now. First period has been the Bears' best. It's also been a good one for the Ponies, and right now White Bear Lake needs to get it done in the second and third periods.
They really do, and they're going to need to do that here in the section playoffs as well. As you said earlier, that's really killed them this season, especially against their arch rival Hill Murray, which is the team they'd eventually have to get by if they want to get to the state tournament. So they need to get back that Bear period that they talked about last year and play well. They need to have a little bit more here in the second period as well. Stillwater outshot 14-7, yet stayed in it with a good goaltending and some big defensive plays and kept it tied.
Bears have won 7 of their last 8 games, and included in that stretch a 9-3 drubbing of this Stillwater team. They have scored 67 goals in those 8 games. Fans, we'd like to remind you that tonight's broadcast is being brought to you in part by Pizza Hut on Hillcrest. Call 488-8888. It's the official Pizza Hut of the Puckheads. We're underway, second period. A shot by Agard, and Simpkins kicked that to the corner. Agard ties up with Rigstad behind the net. Pass for Arkell was off the mark, and Mosley starts back for the Bears. They're 3-on-2 at center. Schwartzbauer ridden out neatly on the far side, boards by Salmon. Puck goes to the corner. Moorhead back to pick it up. Plays it around behind the net for Arkell on the near boards. He relays to center. Moorhead dumps it in. Ponies will make a line change. Simpkins leaves it for Rigstad. Rigstad circles the net, plays it ahead for Mosley. Mosley across the red line, hits the Pony blue line, and takes a hit from Gruber and went down. Gruber's backhand pass hit his teammate in the skate and went back to the corner. Long pass for Gunderson. He relays rink wide to Promoli. And Gruber back to pick it up in the neutral zone. Gruber up the right wing, fanned on it. Then took a hit at the White Bear blue line. Puck pops up into the Stillwater bench. We're going to face off in the neutral zone. We've played a minute 24 of the second period, and we are tied at 1.
Stillwater certainly coming out and taking the body here for the first part of the second period. Big hit there just before the face-off by Nick Howe, and earlier was Matt Gruber taking down Schwartzbauer in front of the net with a big check when Whitey was breaking in, trying to get the pass in front.
Into the corner they go. Gunderson comes away with it for the Ponies. Ponies finally cleared to center, but Howe lost it as Peterson went down. Ponies cleared into the White Bear zone. Simonson back to pick it up, plays it ahead for Rose. Rose relays to center. Howe took it away. Now Rose starts back, tried to thread the needle with a pass for Gallatin, but that was broken up. Now Peterson intercepts at the red line. Peterson hits the Stillwater blue line. He's ridden out by Montpettit. They go to the corner. Puck is still loose. Finally, the Ponies dig it free. Montpettit comes away with it. And Montpettit tries to start out of his zone, but Lovett took it away. Lovett to the corner for Rose. Back to Lovett, cutting in, and a save by Long. Rebound goes to the corner. Bears play it out to the point, but Simonson's shot went wide. Now Rode fires. That goes into the corner. Simonson keeps it in, far point, brings it around behind the net. Rose has it there. Rose centered, just off the mark for Podomatic. Simonson's shot was blocked by Gunderson. Now Rode back at his own blue line. Rode starts back through the neutral zone, hits the Stillwater line, cutting in, and Long got a skate on it. Puck flies up into the crowd. We'll get a face-off. 12:02 to go, second period, and Long makes a big save on a rush by Pete Rode.
Well, he's had several here in the second period. Peter Rode had a little bit too much room on that side that gave him a chance to get some speed going. Unfortunately for Long, Rode at least wasn't at a good angle. Long was able to hold the post there and come up with a save.
Off the draw, a quick shot by O'Gary. That was blocked, goes to the corner. Gruber plays it around behind the net. O'Gary hustles over there. Now Podomatic has it. Podomatic circles the net, tries a backhand. That was stopped by Long. Weller plays it ahead on the left wing. Johnson throws a check at Rigstad. Podomatic comes away with it. Podomatic centered and never got a shot away. He had a great chance to score himself and chose to make one more pass. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Keeper ties up with Gruber. Ponies finally clear it down. Simpkins has to come out and play it. There will be no icing. Long pass by Rigstad is too far for Mosley, and it'll be icing against White Bear. These two teams in the same bracket in Section 3AA as the seedings are in. The Bears, the number 2 seed at 10 and 10. I'm not sure there's another section that has a number 2 seed that is not over 500. Ponies are number 6. They'll get Roseville in the first round, and then the winner will play the winner of the White Bear North St. Paul game. Should be some interesting games, Tarmo. The Ponies and Raiders played a good one last Saturday night. Roseville won at 6-3. Their 6th goal coming into an empty net. It was really a hard-fought game.
It could be the best game out of all of them.
No goal. They say the net came loose first, and Schwartzbauer was sailing in. Jensen took the shot. He's going to argue that the puck was in. Let's watch it again. Should have a good angle of it from here.
There you see Schwartzbauer going in. Not going in with a check at all.
Well, I think what they're calling, Tarmo, is that the player's in the crease. Not that the net was loose, but Schwartzbauer was already in the crease when Jensen took the shot, and that replay clearly shows that that is the proper call.
And there wasn't too much of an argument from the White Bear side, so that keeps it at 1-1. And again, Long dodges the bullet. The Ponies do, and keep the score tied.
Face-off will come in the neutral zone. And Jensen still having words with the official. Back to the Section 3AA tournament, though, Tarmo. Some interesting first-round games. You got arch rivals in Irondale and Mounds View. They've split 2 this season. Stillwater and Roseville. As I mentioned, Saturday night was a good one. White Bear North St. Paul. Last season, the Bears needed a late shorthanded goal to dodge an upset in the opening round against the Polars. Beat them 5-4, and of course, the Bears went on to win the section tournament, so North St. Paul came very close to bumping the eventual section champions in that opening round.
You know their players are going to be reminded of that this is a chance for a team like North St. Paul to make their season, coming up with the one big game. That's one they could all remember. So you look for them to be sky high. All the pressure will be on the Bears for that game. And North St. Paul feel they got nothing to lose.
Of course, last year it was more interesting, Tarmo, because it was Denny Schuler, head coach of North St. Paul, coaching against his son, Doug Schuler, who was playing for the Bears. This year, Denny Schuler is retired to enjoy his son's senior season, which was ended after 2 games by an injury. So they've both been fans of the Bears this season. Powell lost it just inside the blue line. Schwartzbauer wraps it to the corner. Mosley picks it up, avoids a check. Loose puck behind the net. Ponies come away with it. Schwartzbauer pinching in to tie it up. Then Schwartzbauer goes down. We're going to get a penalty here as Sedlacek and Schwartzbauer both went down, and it looks like they're going to call Sedlacek. And this will put the Bears on the power play for the first time.
Sedlacek had his stick wrapped around him. Take one more look there as he reaches up, pulls him down up around the shoulder, brings him down hard. So big opportunity here for the Bears. And Anthony, as you said, they've had trouble with their penalty killing this season. They certainly haven't had trouble with the power play.
No, that power play has been one of the best that you'll find anywhere. 44% on the season. They've scored 32 power play goals in 73 chances this season. And this is their first opportunity tonight. The first time they met the Ponies, they had just one chance. They were 1 for 1 with the extra man. Agard pokes this to center. Simonson gives chase. Simpkins will leave it behind the net. Rigstad comes away with it for White Bear. Plays it ahead for Rose. They're 3-on-2 at the Pony line. Rose sailing in deep. Still has it. Into the circle. Spins to avoid Moorhead's check. Back of the net, Lovett. Lovett tries to center. Puck rolls harmlessly through the crease. Simonson pitching in, kept it alive, but it was wrapped all the way down. Both teams will change players as Simpkins out for a skate. Plays it off the boards to center. Schwartzbauer, rink wide, Rode, top of the circle. Rode plays it back along the boards into the corner, then he gets it back. Takes a hit at the far point from Johnson. They tie up. Finally, the Bears come away with it. Now they're 2-on-1. Jensen for Mosley is shot to goal. Chris Mosley on the power play, his 12th of the year, and the Bears are in front 2-1.
Stillwater caught badly out of position that time. All the attention was centered out there on the right point as Peter Ode was trying to hold it in. He was held in check by one of the Ponies. A player from each team came in as well. That made it 2 players from each side over there. When the puck poked loose, another Pony went for it, and that left 3 guys off to one side of the rink. And the Bears turned that into a 2-on-1. Here you see 2-on-1. Stillwater defenseman Matt Groover made the lunge for Jensen. As soon as he did, that left Mosey all alone in front. He was able to put it away for the go-ahead goal.
The assists go to Jensen and Rode, and that extends an impressive scoring string, Tarmo. Pete Rode has now scored at least 1 point in 20 consecutive games for White Bear Lake. He was shut out in the season opener against Apple Valley and has had at least 1 point in every game since. Schwartzbauer turns it back at center. Jensen taps it back to him. He winds up and fires. A kick saved by Long. Mosley knocked it down. Ponies give it up in the neutral zone, but a hand pass called against White Bear, and that'll bring the face-off outside the line. I thought Mosley played it with the stick after he knocked it down with the hand, but apparently the officials saw it differently, and as soon as Schwartzbauer played it, they called the hand pass. Let's watch that last White Bear goal once more. Mosley not known for his goal scoring, Tarmo. He's the one man on that front line that does not have 20.
But he certainly came up with a good pass there from Jensen. Had a lot of net to shoot at. Had his stick down ready to go, and talked about him being a little bit of the unsung player on the line, but he's quietly gotten his share of points as well and been a steady player all season for them.
And now the Bears with their 33rd power play goal of the season. 25 of them have come from that top group of Gallatin and Rode, along with the Schwartzbauer-Mosley-Jensen line. Here come the Ponies at center. Montpettit got around Rode to the slot, and Simpkins had to kick it aside. Rebound controlled by White Bear. Rode with a nifty move at center. They're 4-on-1. Rode, top of the circle, centers, and Rose was tied up. Bears were 4-on-1, and Rode acted so deliberately that the Ponies were able to catch up with the play. Puck played out to center. Howe has it stripped away by Rose. Ponies come away with a loose puck. Schultz has it, plays it back near boards for Promoli. Promoli is tied up along with Howe by Pete Rode. Simpkins gloves it and drops it. We're past the halfway point of the game. 2-1 in favor of White Bear. Lovett dumps it back to Rose. He takes a hit from Gunderson, and the Ponies start back. Howe hits the White Bear line as it poked away by Simonson. comes to center. Kiefer grabs it for White Bear. Kiefer lost control of it as he crossed the pony line, and Promoli backhands it into the White Bear zone. Reinhardt turned it back to the red line. Ponies fired it in, and as Simpkins made the play, it's offside against Stillwater. Faceoff will come just across the red line. 6:42 remaining, second period. Bears 2, Ponies 1.
4-on-1 opportunity, Anthony, was kind of an unusual one. I think it turned out to be about 2 guys too many. Rode having it over along the boards there. You had 3 guys breaking, but only 1 net to go for, and they all kind of slowed down to see who would break, and by that time the Ponies were back checking and managed to get into the play.
Crowd starting to file into Aldrich Arena here. An early start tonight as it's part of a doubleheader. It's one of 2 games you can see here on KABL this week. We'll have the Raiders and the Pioneers. Can Hill Murray become the first Twin Cities Suburban East team ever to go through a Twin Cities Suburban Conference schedule undefeated? They'll need to beat Stillwater on Saturday night, but they also need to beat Roseville here tonight at Aldrich Arena. You can see it here on KABL later in the week. Kiefer tried to center, but he was tied up from behind. Now Panamanik has it on the far boards. Panamanik takes a hit behind the net. Now O'Gary comes away with it. O'Gary's really worked hard tonight for White Bear. He throws another check in the corner, digs the puck loose, and plays it for Kiefer. Kiefer is tied up by Arkell. And finally, we'll get a face-off as O'Gary and Gruber go hard into the end boards. We'll get a face-off to the right of Mike Long. 5:50 remaining. Karma, we've also talked about White Bear's impressive stretch here. They've won 7 out of 8 to even their record at 10-10 on the season. And in those 8 games, they are averaging 8.3 goals a game.
It's an amazing number, and it really makes them an awful tough team to beat in the first round or 2 here of the playoffs. They may get Roseville in that second round, and they've been able to beat the Raiders twice this season. It's really hard to shut down that offense that they have, but sometimes the best way to shut it down is to take advantage of the opportunities they give up at the other end, and there've been a lot more opportunities there than Coach Schwartz would like to see.
Monpettit dumps it ahead for Weller into the corner. Weller is wiped out by Rode. Rode has really played a strong game physically, defensively. He's been knocking Pony players around most of the night. Weller in from the right point. He takes a hit from Schwartzbauer and goes down. Rode still fighting in the corner. He's tied up. Puck is still loose. He finally kicks it free for Schwartzbauer to the point. Gruber kept it in. Oh, and his shot was tipped by Promoli. Nearly steered it by Simpkins. Gunderson dives to roll one toward the net, collides with his teammate, and the puck comes to center. Wagner back through the neutral zone, throws it rink wide. Sedlacek dumped it into the Bears zone. Rode turned it away. Sedlacek picks it up in the neutral zone. He fires it in. It goes wide of the net. Rode takes a hit, lost the puck, centering pass, and it was broken up neatly by Schwartzbauer. Schwartzbauer starts back for the Bears, ahead for Mosley. Mosley fired. This line very tired. They've been on the ice a long time. Wagner starts back up the left wing boards, plays to center for Gunderson. Gunderson played it back to Wagner. He dumped it in as he was spun around by Lovett. Gallatin plays it around behind the net for Peterson. Gallatin ahead for Lovett. Lovett across the red line. Back to Gallatin. He takes a hit from Salmon and goes down. Agard tips it behind the net. Rose centered, and Gallatin was tied up out front. A great play by Salmon. Agard crisscrossing at the line with D. St. Aubin. D. St. Aubin lost it. It goes to the corner. Rose bumped from behind by Moorhead. D. St. Aubin pinching in. Bounces off of a check from Peterson. Centered it. And Moorhead deflected it up and over the top of the goal. Lovett's rink wide pass hits the skate of Gallatin. D. St. Aubin tried to play it rink wide for Moorhead. Moorhead took a hook and was dumped by Simonson. No penalty. Lovett across the line, leaves it for Rose. Into the corner to Gallatin. He takes a hit from Gruber. Rose centers. Lovett scores! Number 8 on the year for Mike Lovett, and the Bears lead it 3-1.
Big goal here late in the period for White Bear. Rose, we talked about his speed, his stick handling. That time he did a good job holding the puck. Lovett right in front was able to take the pass and quickly put it away. There you see Rose on his backhand, sends it out in front. Lovett very quickly there. Took a big hit after the play from Marshall Moorhead, but he was free for just a moment there. The pass was right on his stick, and that was really the difference, was that he was able to shoot it immediately without stopping it, and that gave him a chance to have a lot of room there to the left to goaltender Mike Long.
Bears all season have been waiting for another line to step up like the top line has, as you see Nate Wagner injured behind the play for Stillwater. And this just continues what has been a very frustrating season for the Ponies and head coach Bill Lechner with injury problems. Lechner will hustle down to check on his player. 2:45 remaining in the second period, but Tarmo, the Bears have been desperately searching for a second line to step up, and it may be coming here with this Rose, Lovett, and Gallatin line against Mounds View. Rose scored 2 goals and added an assist. Lovett had a goal, and Gallatin had 3 points. That was their last time out, last Saturday night against Mounds View, and now tonight, Gallatin with a goal and an assist, Rose with a couple of assists, and Lovett with his 8th goal of the year.
If you remember from earlier in the season, we saw some of Jeff Rowe's skating ability there. We saw a number of good scoring chances that he had, and it just seemed early on that he was a good skater, but he just wasn't able to finish up around the net, and he's been able to do that here recently, and that is a big addition to this club.
Billy Lechner out asking the officials, hey, how is there not a penalty when my guy gets hit so hard with a stick that he winds up with a bloody nose? And I did not see the play, Tarmo, but that would lead you to believe that there's a possibility he's right. Face off top of the circle in the Stillwater zone. 2:43 remaining. Second period. Bears 3, Ponies 1. Ryan Salmon goes back in his own zone, plays it around to the near side. Sedlacek. Rink wide pass too far for Johnson. Johnson dances around Rigstad, but Pete Rode back to pick it up, and Rigstad is going to get whistled for interference. Rigstad trying to keep Johnson from beating Pete Rode to the puck, and he will go for interference. It's a Stillwater power play.
Well, Rigstad did everything he could to try and do that without drawing the penalty. Andy Johnson, senior winger, really had some speed going on that wing cut. Rigstad backpedaling just a little bit. He knew he was had there, so he tried to stay with the winger as well as he could, but Johnson finally started to move around him, and that's when he was forced to draw the interference penalty.
So on the power play go the Ponies. They are 1 for 1 so far tonight, and 2 out of 6 on the season against White Bear Lake. They were 1 for 5 in the first meeting. Agard behind the net. Howe trying to set up out front. Now Howe moves to the corner, plays it to the point for Moorhead. Moorhead back to Howe, back to Moorhead, who fires, rebound, Agard with a shot, save, Simpkins. Oh, a sensational save on the rebound by Simpkins. I'm not sure how he kept that one out of the net. Moorhead goes behind his net to lead the break. 1.5 minutes in the power play. Agard up the left wing. Nice move at center, now dumps it to the corner. Back out to the point for Moorhead. Moorhead off the near boards for Agard. Agard rink wide, Gruber. Gruber's shot, that hit a skate. Moorhead keeps it in high in the slot, dumps it to the corner. Arkell lost it. Simonson took it away and plays to center. Gruber starts back in for Stillwater. He dumps it in with 1 minute to go in the power play. Puck pops loose out front. Howe has it for Stillwater. Plays it to the point for Moorhead. Moorhead dumps it near circle. Here's a shot, saved by Simpkins. Rebound clear to the line, but not out. Kept in. Gruber into the corner to Arkell. Sedlacek on the doorstep, and he fanned on it. A great pass from Arkell, and Sedlacek couldn't pull the trigger. Ponies coming very close here with a half a minute in the power play. Gruber starts back across the red line, plays for Sedlacek. He fires it in. Rode back to pick it up, clears it around to the near side. Gunderson kept it in. Promoli into the corner, plays it back of the net. Sedlacek fell out front, and the Bears are able to clear it. Hit an official in the neutral zone, and Moorhead fires it back in. Just 7 seconds in the power play. Rode fires it off the glass. It comes all the way down, and that's the end of the White Bear power play penalty, rather. The Stillwater man advantage. We'll get things sorted out for you here. Salmon's rink-wide pass intercepted by Peterson. Peterson lost it. Gunderson took it away. Weller has it at center. The Ponies are 2-on-2. Weller tried to center. Now Gunderson joins the play, but he lost the puck. And that brings us to the end of this first period. Second period. At the end of 2, it's 3-1 in favor of White Bear Lake. Stay with us. We'll chat with Mike Schwartz when we come back.
Who covers all the games and never misses a shot? Who catches every play and never drops the ball? Who's in on all the action and never breaks a sweat? The team with the best chemistry in sports, Nick and Fred. Sports Tonight, weeknights on CNN.
Welcome back to Aldrich Arena. At the end of 2, the Bears in front 3-1. Stillwater comes very close on the power play in the closing minutes, but Tim Simpkins makes a great save on Nate Agard out front of the net, stopped him on the rebound, and that keeps the Bears in front by 2. We are joined now by White Bear head coach Mike Schwartz. And Coach, your team has struggled all season on the penalty kill. The Ponies got a power play goal in the first period and nearly got another one. That was a great save by Tim Simpkins.
Yeah, he did a real nice job there. We got a slow rotation there coming from Whitey Schwartzbauer. He's getting late on his shift and getting a little bit tired, so he didn't quite make the rotation over to the backside. But, you know, we said all year we got to stay out of that penalty box. It's going to kill us, and it's killed us all year as far as our opponent's power play percentage, so we just got to stay out of the sin bin.
All season you've been looking for a second line to step up. Your first line may be the best in the league, one of the best in the Metro, but tonight, and perhaps it started last Saturday with Mounds View, the line of Rose, Lovett, and Gallatin starting to do some things offensively.
Well, you know, Jeff Rose is a very offensive-minded player and very talented, and we just haven't been getting the numbers out of him that we should. And we put a little pressure on him, Randy, and Mike. We said, hey, you guys, if we're really going to go anywhere, we got to have you guys step up in case they shut down our number 1 group. So they know what they have to do here, and they're stepping up their game, and they know that it's playoff time, and they want to take a little bit of charge here.
And of course, Coach, you've talked about the fact you need to cut down on goals against. I'm sure today you'd give up a 6 or 8 goal type night if you could keep a 1 on that scoreboard for the other team.
Yeah, and that's what we're really looking for. You know, the old saying goes, you can win an awful lot of games with offense, but you don't win many titles. And we talked about that with the kids, where, you know, we haven't done real well on our own end as far as keeping the puck out of our net, and that's what we really wanted to focus on here these last 2 games before we get into sectional play.
Well, and whoever made up the saying about winning games with offense, I'm not sure they were thinking about your offense, averaging over 8 goals a game over this last 8-game stretch. This might be a team that has enough offense to win it, but you're looking at some teams, one here tonight, another in Roseville, another in Hill Murray, that they're going to cause some problems. You're going to have to win a game somewhere between here and the Civic Center where you don't score 8 times.
Well, you know, if you think about last year, who would have thought that it was going to be a 2-1 final with Hill Murray on that big sheet of ice? I don't think anybody would ever predicted that. And so, you know, you almost got the same type of thing going on here. A very offensive-minded team, but we know we got to play some good, solid D in order to win championships. So, like I say, we're really concentrating on our defense. We've kind of put some clamps on Pete Road a little bit. We said, Pete, we want you to play a little more D rather than rushing the puck so much. So, right now, we're kind of taking a look at it from that standpoint. Let's play defense first. We'll take our opportunities as they come.
All right, Coach, well, I have to correct you on one thing. Tarmo predicted a 2-1 game down at Mariucci last season.
He's lying. He's lying.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the third period.
Thanks.
That's head coach Mike Schwartz. His team in front 3-1 after 2 tonight. And interesting that he mentioned Pete Road-Tarmo, because he has played a fine game defensively tonight. I'm not sure the Stillwater team is the strongest team on their skates, but he's been knocking bodies around all night.
Well, he really has, and the Stillwater team really is playing pretty well. They're playing a little bit better than you'd expect from a team that's 4-16 coming in, but he has played a strong game, still had a chance to make one outstanding rush that he almost turned into a goal, so he can play a strong defensive game, not rush as often, and still end up with some good chances before the night is done.
He might lead the league in chances this season. At the end of 2, it's 3-1 in favor of White Bear. Stay with us. We'll have some second period highlights and our third period face-off. This is Prep Hockey 95 on KABL. At the end of 2, it's 3-1 in favor of the Bears. They get the only 2 goals of the second period. Let's take a look at them right here. They score 6 minutes in on the power play. We've talked about their struggles with the penalty kill all season, but they've had no troubles on the power play, clicking at 44%. Great pass from Jensen to Mosley, and it's 2-1 Bears. Then they stretch it to 3-1. Mike Lovett gets loose out front, beats Long, and it made it 3-1. Tim Simpkins then made a couple tremendous saves for the Bears on a Stillwater power play that nearly brought the Ponies back within 1, and that's why we stand at 3-1 with Tarmo Kubitz. I'm Anthony LaPanta. Hope you're enjoying tonight's game, and the Ponies have done what they had to do. They've come out here, they've slowed this game down. They haven't allowed that White Bear first line to get on track.
And they've really done what they can to take advantage of their power play opportunity. They scored on the first one. They came awfully close to scoring on that second one. This could very well have been a 3-2 game going into third period. So Ponies are playing well. They're getting good goaltending. They're getting some good checks in there. They just have to see if they can keep with the Bears here in the third period.
Third period just about set to get underway. And fans, we'd like to remind you once again that tonight's broadcast is being brought to you in part by Hillcrest Pizza Hut. Call 488-8888. It's the official Pizza Hut of the Buckheads. We are 5 seconds into this third period, and there once again, of course, they're everywhere, the Tarmo Kubitz supporters. As I'm sure Tarmo predicted, a 3-1 White Bear lead heading into the third period tonight.
I think that was pretty obvious, wasn't it?
Rigstad brings it in offside. We're going to face off outside the line. Well, we'll put you on the spot, Tarmo. Can this Ponies team get by Roseville in the opening round and set up a matchup next week with this same White Bear team?
Well, I think it isn't out of the realm of possibility. It would be an upset, but it's a young Roseville team. They've certainly had their ups and downs. They've had some outstanding games this season when they showed they could play with anyone. They beat Anoka very badly when they came into Roseville early in the season, an Anoka team that's probably going to be the #1 seed in their section. So they certainly have some talent there, but they've also got blasted on some other nights. It's like any other game in hockey. A lot of it comes back to the goaltending. Stillwater is strong enough that if they get a good night from their goaltender and they can sneak a few past Roseville, they can certainly be in the game and come away with a win.
And I asked Bill Lechner about it before the game tonight. He said, hey, we played him Saturday night, and he said, I really felt we carried the play. And you got to remember, we're playing without a couple of our best players. Here's Howe sailing in. His shot, Simpkins got a piece of it with a glove. Now Promoli back of the net. He's hammered into the boards by Jensen. Bears clear to the line. It's flipped back into the White Bear zone, and Schwartzbauer leaves it there for Rigstad. Rigstad is tripped by Howe. Penalty coming against Stillwater. And just a minute 4 into this third period, a great chance for White Bear to put this game away.
Certainly not the way the Ponies wanted to start things here in the period, to face that devastating White Bear power play right off the bat. Kind of an accidental play there. Rigstad trying to break out of the zone, and skates pulled out from under him. Once again here now, a penalty, just as it did with the last White Bear power play, came with a big line on the ice. So now the second unit here will start it for the first part of the power play.
Moorhead took it away, fired it into the White Bear zone. Simpkins leaves it back of his net for Rigstad. Bears with a chance to go in front by 3, and we're going to get another penalty. It's going to be a high sticking minor against Agard, and boy, after the penalty was called, we easily could have had a penalty against White Bear because Agard was then hammered from behind with a vicious cross check. But Agard will go for high sticking at 112. 2 penalties 18 seconds apart, excuse me. And the Ponies are in deep trouble.
Agard with his stick up there along the far boards, right in front of the official who made the call. I believe that was Jensen he was battling with on that side, and was whistled down very quickly. And big advantage here, 1 minute and 42 seconds of 5-on-3 for White Bear Lake.
Road has it. Starts back for White Bear Lake. 13.5 minutes to go in the game. 1.5 minutes in a 2-man advantage for White Bear Lake. Clear to the line. Gallatin kept it in. Plays it for Road near circle. Now back of the net. Road centers. Jensen fired it wide. Mosley back to pick it up. Mosley for Gallatin. Now Road top of the circle. Back to Gallatin. High in the slot. Walks in. Fires. Hit traffic. Rebound is clear to the near board. Schwartzbauer has it. Schwartzbauer cuts to the slot. Centered. Gruber broke it up for Stillwater. And the Ponies are able to clear the zone. Johnson fires it down. Gallatin back to pick it up. 50 seconds in the 2-man advantage as Gallatin starts back for White Bear. Gallatin across the Stillwater line. Works around behind the net. Plays it top of the circle for Road. Road still waiting. Into the circle, back of the net. Schwartzbauer walks out front. A shot saved by Long. And Mosley couldn't wrap the rebound past him. Ponies couldn't clear the zone. Moorhead had it stripped away by Gallatin. Now to Mosley, top of the circle, Road. Jensen fires. That hit traffic. Road plays it to Gallatin. Back to Road. 15 seconds in the 2-man advantage. Road centers. Jensen partially fanned and shot it wide. Schwartzbauer back in the net. Out to Road in the circle. Road tried to get it back to Schwartzbauer, had it stripped away and cleared the length of the ice. The 2-man advantage is over. Simpkins watched by Howe, so he fires it into the neutral zone. 10 seconds in the minor against Agard. Schwartzbauer tried to center for Jensen. It was broken up. Road got a piece of it, flips it to the corner, and the Ponies are back at full strength. They have killed off 1 minute 42 of a 2-man disadvantage. Gallatin pokes it ahead to O'Gary. O'Gary through the neutral zone. Had it stripped away by Salmon. It goes back of the net. Wagner has it. 11:20 to go, 3rd period. White Bear 3, Stillwater 1. Ponies clear it all the way down. This will be icing. Face-off comes in the Stillwater zone. 11-11 remaining 3rd period. And the Bears, despite failing on a tremendous opportunity to put this one away, still lead it by 2 goals.
Well, give some credit to the Ponies there for some outstanding penalty killing. Normally, if you kill off 5-on-3 like that for 1 minute 42 against a strong offensive team, you just assume the goalie stood on his head and made 6 or 8 saves. That really wasn't the case. He had a few saves to make, but they really kept him to the outside. A lot of the time spent with Road in the corner looking for someone. They just kept it on the perimeter. Didn't really work it in that much, and Ponies were patient and got their stick in front when they could and were able to clear it a couple of times.
Long had stopped 22 of 25 White Bear shots through the first 2 periods. And he stopped another half dozen so far here in the 3rd. Panamanik had it taken away by Agard. Agard to the red line, tries to work around Simonson but can't. Panamanik back to pick it up. Spins in his own zone as it's stripped away by Agard. Agard off the boards to the point, but the Ponies had left on a line change. Kiefer at center, he fell. Howe is hit from behind by Panamanik. Simonson comes away with it. Works through a check from Gruber. Puck goes into the corner. O'Gary again joins the fray and once again comes away with a puck. O'Gary walks out to the near side boards, leaves it for Panamanik. Panamanik takes a hit from Arkell. Now Gruber comes away with it. His rink-wide pass was knocked down by Reinhardt and played with a high stick, so the faceoff will come all the way back into the White Bear zone. 10:09 remaining, and the Ponies get an all-important faceoff opportunity in the White Bear end.
And that's the end. They have to get play to move into just a little bit more here, and not just on the power play. It seems like their only real flurries have come on their 2 power play opportunities. They've had a few other chances, but they need to turn that around, get something going here, and good chance, I would think, that the next penalty called would give them a power play before this game is over.
Saw the numbers on Pete Rode. That 35th assist earlier tonight tied the all-time school record set by Brian Bonnen back in the 1991-92 season. His 35th assist of the year, and he and Tom Jensen continue to duel for the conference scoring lead. Jensen picked up his 52nd point of the night tonight, and Rode picked up his 47th. Cremoli through the neutral zone, loses it. Rode starts back for White Bear. Rode centers, just too far for Schwartzbauer. Now Mosley sailing in. Mosley centers. It was deflected and went behind the net. Penalty coming, and it's going to be an interference minor. Now the whistle blew when the Ponies touched the puck, and that could mean another White Bear power play, and it does. So Tarmo, so much for the marble theory. Howe goes for interference at 5:23, and the Bears get their 4th power play chance of the night.
Well, we'll see if they can do a little bit more with it than they did with the last one, with a 2-man advantage there. That time the interference penalty on the far side. You get a look there at Tom Jensen, who's certainly taken advantage of the power play opportunities this season. Quite a few of those 32 goals that he scored have come on the power play, 9 of them altogether. And as Anthony mentioned, that unit just teams up. The vast majority of that 40-some% that they score on comes from that big first line, along with Rode and Gallatin.
Bears on the power play for the 4th time tonight. They are 1 out of 3 thus far. Played out to the line, too far for keeper. Simonson has it. His rink-wide pass intercepted by Andy Johnson. Johnson goes down to the neutral zone, and the Bears control. Keeper has it. Takes a hit from Gruber, poked it ahead to Rigstad. Rigstad cutting in. Circles the net, now leaves it behind for Rose. Rose centers, and Jensen is stopped on the doorstep. Long makes his biggest save of the night with 8:52 to play.
Long had one thing going for him there, and that was that Jensen was awfully deep there when he took it. Take one more look here. You'll see that pass was fluttering a little bit on its way over there. That gave Long time to go over and cut off the angle, and by the time Jensen shot, wasn't much to shoot at, and he was able to smother the puck.
Faceoff will come to the right of Long. 1:15 in the White Bear power play. Mosley plays it behind the net for Schwartzbauer. He's bumped from behind. Gets it to the point anyway. Rode for Mosley. Schwartzbauer back in the net. Tried to center. It comes loose to the near boards. Rode leaves it behind the net. Clearing pass hit Agard in the skate. Now Agard will pick it up and retreat into his own zone. 48 seconds in the power play. Agard's clearing pass hit the official. Mosley for Jensen on the left wing. Jensen back to the point, poked away from Gallatin. Gunderson gives chase. Gallatin knocks him down, and Gallatin will get called for high sticking. Time of this penalty, 6:49, and this will even us at 4 aside.
Well, Gallatin was vulnerable there with his back turned, trying to race for that puck. Well, the other player had the edge with a little bit more speed, tried to hold him up. But he tried to add to that by giving a little shot with the stick there, got it up a little bit too high. The official was right there to make the call. So finally a chance back here for the Ponies after killing off 3 penalties.
Faceoff will come in the neutral zone. We'll play 4 aside for the next 34 seconds. And then the Ponies will go on the power play. Off the draw, it's controlled by Rode. You would figure that this would give White Bear a tremendous advantage. They certainly have the edge in speed and skilled players. Arkell flips it in. 20 seconds, and then we'll have a Stillwater power play. Schwartzbauer takes a hit from Gruber, but Rode picks it up. Rode sailing in, fires! fires, and he hit the post. Rigstad comes away with it, rolls it in on goal, and Long finally covers it up. Face-off coming in the Stillwater zone. How many times have we seen Pete Rode beat the defense to the outside and fire just wide? This time he hits the post.
Well, you looked at those outstanding assist numbers he had. The goal numbers would be a lot higher if he just was able to cash one of those in, cash a few of those in, and that one just goes wide. A good chance right after that is a shot from the point, went off the stick of Cremoli and took a crazy bounce on its way to goaltender Long. Took him a while to get it smothered and get control of it so he could drop on it for the face-off.
3 seconds remaining in the minor penalty against Howe, and the Ponies go on the power play right now. Big chance for Stillwater. This is their 3rd power play opportunity of the evening. They are 1 out of 2 thus far. Into the corner, Gunderson, a shot to goal! Second of the night and 3rd of the year for Gunderson. Both coming on the power play, and it's a 3-2 game.
I'll tell you, you could take the power play and diagram a lot of complicated plays to set people up and so on. He didn't have to do it on that one. That was pure and simple, a race for the puck. As it was pushed up along the boards, Gunderson beat the defenseman to it. Coming on that side, just shot it on the fly. Take one more look here. You see Gunderson breaking in. He's at a bad angle, but there was a lot of room to the left of goaltender Tim Simpkins. I think he was a little bit surprised by the shot. Maybe he thought Gunderson was going to pick up the puck and go behind the net and send something up, but instead he took the shot and got in the big goal.
Ponies 2-on-2 at the White Bear line, but it's turned aside by Rode. Gallatin flying up the right wing. He is bumped off the puck, and the Ponies take over in the corner. Salmon has it. Only assist on the goal goes to Sedlacek, his 2nd assist of the night. Gunderson, who came into the night with just 1 goal and 3 assists on the year, has a pair of goals tonight. Rink-wide pass, and as it's touched in the neutral zone, it pops up and out of play, so we're going to face off. 6:38 to play, 3rd period. First time these teams met, it was White Bear winning it 9-3. Tonight, much more competitive. It is 3-2 in favor of the Bears, and there's Jared Rigstad. He's going to be a big key to this team's run through the playoffs as well. You talk about those top 5 players and top 5 scorers, but Rigstad is going to have to contribute defensively. Loose puck at center. Arkell lost it. Kiefer took it away and fired it in. Comes around to the near side. O'Gary is there. O'Gary plays it behind the net. It's too far for Gruber. They tie up in the corner. And a rink-wide pass is picked up by Agard. Agard to the White Bear line. Dropped it back for Moorhead. He had it taken away by Kiefer, and he plays it ahead to Panamonik. Panamonik into the Stillwater zone. Tried to play it on the left wing. Kiefer comes away with it in center. Rigstad has it. Rigstad's pass between the legs of Arkell and goes to the far wall. Wagner has it for Stillwater. Plays to Arkell. His pass relayed to the line, but not out. And here's a shot that Long stops. Kiefer steaming in, and then O'Gary, but Long was able to hang on. Face-off coming in the Stillwater zone with 5.5 minutes to go.
Like Long not too sure where that puck was, because it was deflected on the way to him, bounced up into his equipment. And he stayed very still looking around. Take one more look here. You'll see the shot coming in, just a backhand shot that's deflected in front. And he's able to cover it up. Kiefer was there on the doorstep trying to steer it in, but Long was able to get in front of it.
Jensen, rink-wide pass for Schwartzbauer. Simonson pokes it to the corner. Schwartzbauer ties up with Gruber. Gruber plays it around to the far point, kept in by Reinhardt. And Gruber picks it up again. Now leaves it for Gunderson. Gunderson, who has 3 goals on the year, all of them coming in the last 3 games. Across the blue line, drops it back. Promoli with a shot. Kick save Simpkins. And the net comes loose. They're going to call the faceoff outside of the zone with 4:55 remaining.
Face-off going outside because Gunderson's the one who took the net off by himself with a good aggressive play as he drove to the net for the rebound. Take a look here as he drops a pass. There you see the shot, and there's Gunderson all alone looking for the rebound. If that puck had been down along the ice, he would have had a good chance of tying this game up.
Reinhardt retreats to his own zone, plays it ahead for Jensen. Jensen rink wide, too far for Schwartzbauer. And Salmon turns it back to the blue line. Jensen has to retreat and wait for Schwartzbauer to get onside. Simonson has it ahead for Schwartzbauer. Takes a hit from Johnson in the neutral zone. And now Joe Weller comes away with it. Rink wide for Montpettit. Montpettit fires a shot to goal!
Montpettit breaking up the middle, took the pass at the blue line, went in. Just a quick wrist shot, didn't wind up. Just fired a quick wrist shot, was able to beat Simpkins. And what a time to get your first goal of the season here. As Stillwater comes back to tie this game. Once again, the Bears struggling in the third period, coming in here with a 3-1 lead, now looking at a tie game. There's one more look. There you see the quick wrist shot to the right of goaltender Tim Simpkins. Might have been screened a little bit by the defenseman there in front of him, but whatever it was, the tying goal for the Ponies.
Well, you get the idea about how this Stillwater team has struggled this year, Tarmo. That's the first point of the year for Montpettit. The assist goes to Andy Johnson, and it's his second point of the season. Just over 4 minutes to go, and we are dead even at 3. Face-off will come back in the Stillwater zone after the icing call. And you see the Roseville players awaiting their game, and they have to be wondering how fortunate they were to get the 3 seed and be drawing this Stillwater team in the first round. Roseville, you remember, was thumped by White Bear last week, 7-5. They've given up 15 goals in 2 games against this Bear team, and yet here the Ponies are battling them even with 4 minutes to go.
Which goes back to it's not who you play, but when you play them. And that's such a key there at section time. It's just too bad for the Ponies that they don't have their players coming back with the injuries. We talk about the fact that they're playing shorthanded now, and that's going to continue to be the case here all the way through the playoffs with the injuries to Runk and Meisterling.
Lovett along the far boards, has it taken away by Salmon. Ponies come away with it once again. 3:50 to go as they hit center. Eichton, who hasn't seen much ice time tonight, tried to dance around a check but was upended, and we'll get a face-off just outside the White Bear blue line.
Gunderson offside that time, breaking on the left wing, looking for that hat trick here, trying to get his 4th goal of the season on what's been a productive night for him so far. Looked very strong out there tonight. A number of the Stillwater forwards, even though they don't have a lot of goals to their credit. Good game here for Gunderson tonight, for Moley, Agard. Played very well in keeping this a tie game into the closing minutes.
Stillwater has the worst offense, if you will, in either division of the Twin Cities Suburban Conference. They come in tonight averaging less than 2.5 goals a game. 47 goals in their first 20 games. Tonight, they put 3 on the board against the team that has scored more often than anybody in the Twin Cities Suburban East, and only Elk River has scored more goals than them in either side. Here's Jensen sailing in. A shot saved by Long, and a face-off coming in the Stillwater zone. Long keeps him tied, and all he had to do was stop the school's top all-time goal scorer to do it.
And I'm a little surprised he was able to do that. He left an awful lot of room there with the 5-hole as Jensen was coming in. Long had those legs spread just a little bit. Take one more look there. We saw him stick that left pad out and drop with the right. And there's the puck. You see it trickling there. And even with the play being called dead, it really didn't matter. He still was able to cover it up just before it crossed the goal line.
Jensen with a steal, but he couldn't get the puck to Schwartzbauer. Bears play it in. They have to retouch. Gruber back to pick it up for Stillwater. Gruber's pass was behind Montpettit, icing against Stillwater. That was something that you didn't see from this Ponies team in the first 2.5 periods. I don't recall an icing whistle against them. And perhaps now they're starting to try and take some chances and spring somebody for what would be a game-breaking goal.
Which is really something they have to be careful of, because they don't want a lot of face-offs back in their zone with the group that's lining up there for White Bear Lake. They've just done a good job of clearing the puck back out to center, making White Bear come in time and time again, and just played a patient game, waited for their opportunities, and finally cashed in when they were there.
Ponies have it in their own zone. Rink-wide pass behind Montpettit. Rose comes away with it for White Bear. Back to Simonson. Plays it off the boards to the Stillwater line. Ponies come away with it once again. Sedlacek, who has a couple of assists tonight. Ponies dump it in. Peterson to the line. Gunderson kept it in there. His pass hit Montpettit and falls to the ice. Bears clear to center. Wagner back to pick it up for Stillwater. They play catch at their own line. He plays it ahead of the White Bear line. Gallatin turns it back. Ryan Salmon back to pick it up for Stillwater. He's centered. Salmon then flips it into the neutral zone, but it deflects up and out of play. So we're going to face off back in the Stillwater zone. 2:11 to go, regulation time. Ponies 3, Bears 3. Tarmo, I started to mention early on tonight that, remember back to Mike Schwartz's first season at White Bear, it was a loss to Stillwater late in the season that cost the Bears a chance to finish .500 that season. They wound up 9-11-2 on the regular year, and they were swept by the Ponies. And now they're 10-10 with 2 games to go. They, as Mike Schwartz pointed out very quickly last week, we can't lose another game if we want to finish over .500 this year.
And the Ponies would like nothing better. We talked earlier about a team like North St. Paul being able to make its season with a big section wing. Even though this is a conference game, not section, it still would be a nice boost for the Ponies, particularly going into those sections.
Rink-wide pass, Gunderson coming in, looking for the hat trick, and Simpkins stopped him, rebound, and Promoli fired it wide. That is what happens when you're 4-16. Rode the other way, shot to goal!
And that's part 2 of what happens when you're 4-16, Anthony. You not only miss that chance at your offensive end, but you get burned on the other side. Great chance for the Ponies there. Wet net was wide open. They couldn't get the puck to stand still, couldn't put it in. And that gave Pete Roy a chance to go the other way, and he went coast to coast that time. Took it in, walked through the defense. Take one more look at it here. Here you see Gunderson's chance. A nice save there by Tim Simpkins. And there's that net staring right there at number 9, Dave Eichten, looking for his first goal of the season. And that left a lot of room for Pete Rowe. And look at all the white jerseys behind him. They were in following up on that play, trying to score. Rowe beat the last man, the defenseman, and also beat the goaltender. Big goal here for the Bears.
Well, you talk about end-to-end rushes, Tarmo. That one went goal line to goal line for Pete Rowe. Great move in the Stillwater zone to get around Tyler Schultz, and another nifty move to beat the goaltender, Mike Long.
And that's what Mike Schwartz was talking about, not to rush the puck that often, but there was an opportunity. He knew there were 3 Stillwater forwards busting in there for the net, one step, and he's already got 3 guys behind him, and that's a good start to have.
Here come the Ponies with Gruber. Gruber at the White Bear line. Cuts to the slot, rolled it out front. Somebody lost their stick. Rode had it. Agard centers. Gruber fires. Saves Simpkins. Loose puck in the slot area. All 10 players are there. And the Ponies never got a shot away. Gunderson fired and it went just wide. Ponies have pulled the goaltender. Back of the net, we're going to get a penalty against White Bear. cross-checking minor coming, and this will make it 6-on-4 for the Ponies.
Well, you won't see much more of a scramble than that, will you? All the Ponies were there. The Bears, the Ponies just kept shooting and shooting. They never could get the good hard shot away. They kept banging it towards the net, and it'd be deflected time after time. Watch this. They send it out in front. There you see the first shot again. Simpkins coming up with a big save there. Here you see, as Anthony mentioned, 10 bodies flying in there. Everybody's trying to get at it. Simpkins kind of flopping up and down there, waiting to see where the puck is in the middle of all that excitement. Now when you see it come back around, you'll see the cross check. Should be off on the right of your screen. There it is.
No question
Rigstad
about
with
it.
the cross check to the back of the Stillwater player. So the Ponies just refuse to give up here tonight.
And they have shown more signs of life offensively here in the last 4 minutes than I've seen from them in 3 or 4 games that we've seen this year, Tarmo.
Well, they've had a big adjustment to make, losing the big guns that they did. And as we go down these numbers, as you were saying, guys that are scoring their first goal and second goal and fourth point and so on, the numbers aren't there. They've obviously been improving as the season's gone along, and there certainly isn't a better time for your team to start coming around. Big test for them here against the White Bear team, and a big test for them Saturday against the Pioneers.
Tarmo, your fan club got uniforms.
Well, we try to be versatile there. We don't want to show that we always support the Bears, though, but we certainly do when we're sitting on their side of the building.
Yeah, that's the one thing you've taught your fan club well. Always cheer for the team with the bigger number on the board, and always sit on their side. And we get a whistle. Gunderson is going to be called for standing in the crease, and the faceoff will come outside the zone. And there's another example of what happens to you when you're 4-16.
It's a huge turnaround there. Not just the fact that another 3 or 4 seconds went off the clock there, but the extra time it'll take to get in there and set up now. One clearing attempt for White Bear could be enough to finish it off here with only 30 seconds remaining.
Very important face-off, and Jensen won it. Agard poked it into the zone. Bears clear to center. Agard has it back. It's relayed into the zone by Salmon. Gallatin took a whack at it. Gunderson centers, loose puck, and it rolled just wide. I think the net is loose. Agard back of the net. They tie up for it with 10 seconds to go. Agard digs it free, centering pass. Gunderson fanned on it. Here's a shot by Gruber. Puck is still loose, and the Bears win it. Oh, the Ponies flying, and the net, I believe, came loose, Tarmo, but the whistle never blew. And Stillwater can go home knowing that they can play with anybody in Section 3AA, even though they come out on the short end tonight, 4-3.
Well, they certainly put up as good an effort there in the last minute or two. Looked with 30 seconds left like they'd be in a lot of trouble there in the center ice zone, like that would be it. And they still managed to work it in. Some aggressive forechecking there behind the net, turning it into some good scoring chances.
Let's watch that action in front of the White Bear net. Now here's the centering pass. They roll that one just wide. And then they get several good chances after Agard finally digs this loose.
Good job there, as the Bears are doing everything they could to force that face-off. Would have been a good chance there for Salmon, but he was just tied up a little bit, couldn't get out in front. And that's, again, as you say, with a 4-16 team, you're always got the puck on the wrong side or it's bouncing, and nothing went right for them. A lot of hard work there, but they weren't able to cash it in with a goal.
The Bears improve now to 11-10, and they can go over 500 if they can close their season with a victory against Irondale. Stillwater falls to 4-17 on the season, and they will now start looking ahead at Hill Murray Saturday, and then match up into the sectionals with Roseville. Mike Schwartz, the head coach for the Bears, is set to join us here at Aldrich Arena. And Coach, your team wins one tonight, 4-3. I'm sure, number one, as you go home, you have to be happy with the way that Tim Simpkins played to keep you in it down the stretch. But you have to be concerned with, first of all, the goals that were allowed to let it get to 3-3 and the fact that you had to scramble to beat Stillwater tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's definitely not the same team that we saw a month ago, and they're much improved, and their kids got a lot of grit, and they come and they fight hard, and you know, a little more skill on their part, and they very easily could have tied it up again right there at the end.
They came very close, and it just showed it was very close to another frustrating evening for your team where it looked like you may give up one of those goals down the stretch.
Well, you know, we don't always do the wisest things in the world. We take the penalties at the most inopportune times, and you know, you got to take a look at Pete Rode tonight, though. He took it upon his shoulder to say, hey, this game is ours to win, and I'm going to take and go with it. And I mean, it was just an outstanding play on his part to come back after they had a couple of great chances there just before Pete picked up the puck.
That was really one of the biggest turning points I think you'll ever see in a hockey game. Down at one end, they have a wide open net and fan on it. Pete Rode takes the puck, and we've talked about end-to-end rushes. This was goal line to goal line with a couple sensational moves on the way.
Well, and like you say, you know, he's one of the guys that can do it, and he's been doing it for us all year. He hasn't always scored on every time that he's come up the ice, but, you know, when he gets the puck, everybody gets up on the edge of their seat, and he can do some awful nice things for you.
This is a team now that you may very well see again in the second round. If they can pull off an upset against Roseville, you may run into this team again.
Well, and that's very true, and like I say, they have been much improved, and they're a young club that's got a lot of enthusiasm, and, you know, playoff time, that's what it takes. You got to have some grit, some enthusiasm, be excited about the playoffs. So you're right, we could see them in the future.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. Now a win over Irondale Saturday night gives you a winning record for the season and hopefully some momentum into the playoffs.
We sure hope so. Thanks, Anthony.
That's head coach Mike Schwartz. His team wins it tonight 4-3. And Tarmo, one final thought. I think we saw something from Stillwater that showed, number one, why they are a team to be reckoned with in the playoffs, but number two, why they're 4-17.
Yeah, I think you hit the key there in the end, talking about the skilled players. It really helps when you have a Jensen or a Rode or a Gallatin, somebody who's got that kind of touch around the net, and the Stillwater guys just didn't have that. What they did have was a lot of hard work, some good effort, some real determination. They were able to come up with a couple goals to tie it up, but they just weren't able to finesse that last goal in.
That's going to do it for us here tonight. Bears win it by a score of 4-3. They improve to 11-10. They'll be shooting for an over 500 season Saturday night against Irondale. For my partner Tarmo Kubitz and the rest of the KBL sports crew, so long from Aldrich Arena. We'd like to remind you that tonight's broadcast was brought to you in part by Pizza Hut on Hillcrest. And yes, folks, this is the official Puckheads Pizza Hut. 488-8888. Until next time, for Tarmo and the rest of the crew, so long.